Welcome, my dear viewers. This is David M., the Polish Potato, coming at you today with a review of the SoundPEATS Capsule 3 Pro wireless Bluetooth earbuds. Questions will be answered, rankings will be given, and an opinion will be shared about why, if you are considering purchasing this set, you might be making the very right call. SoundPEATS was founded in 2010 by a group of music lovers and urban sports enthusiasts who were seeking a better way to enjoy music while living a healthy, active lifestyle. They found themselves unsatisfied with traditional wireless headphones, which were not conducive for sports and lacked sound quality. This is what used to be on SoundPEATS' website. Now the text is a little different, and now it's my own commentary. I'm not reading off the screen anymore. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I was not very well familiar with this brand until these SoundPEATS Capsule 3 Pro fell into my hands. And then I started doing my research and I realized this company made a lot of noise in a very competitive market during the recent years. And I like their philosophy a lot. Try to keep the price low, the quality very high, and try to dethrone no other than AirPods Pro 2 that everybody rates very high. How close are SoundPEATS Capsule 3 Pro to achieving this goal? Let's talk about it right now. The first feature I'm gonna rate is the sound quality, because in my humble opinion, it is the most important feature of earbuds. When people are shopping for new earbuds or are trying to decide which ones to get, first thing they want to know, I think, is, do these sound good? Do they sound great? Are they better than others? Are they really worth my investment? So here we go. And this is difficult, but it's difficult for a good reason, because SoundPEATS Capsule 3 Pro sound really good. I do not consider myself an audiophile, but I am definitely an advanced listener who tries to always get as much as possible out of the music and listen to the highest possible quality and just have great music listening experience. Does that make me an audiophile? Maybe it does. Anyway, listening to music is subjective. We all have our own preferences, and maybe we hear things a little differently, and we definitely pay attention to different aspects of the music. So it's very hard to come up with an objective rating system, and what's going to sound better to some of us is not going to sound as good to others. But as objectively as possible, having listened to a lot of other earbuds, these sound really, really good. The bass is very strong. There's a lot going on the high end in the treble, and the mids are not missing. They're not really lagging behind. The vocals are very present, very pronounced. And also on top of that, there's a lot of settings you can change. There's a lot of presets that you can go with. Let's put it this way, there is a broad range of adjustments that you can make in the SoundPEATS app to make them sound to your liking, and I think they will keep a lot of people happy. So overall, I would rate them at a very high 8 out of 10 for the sound quality. One more very important detail when it comes to sound quality of any in-ear earbuds is making sure that you create a good solid seal inside your ear canal. So whether that means playing with different size of the silicone tips that these come with, or figuring out how exactly you're putting them into your ear and twisting them and locking them in, your goal is to create a very strong seal, because if you don't, you're not going to hear the bass properly. They're just not going to sound the way they were designed to sound. And it's also going to affect the ANC. The active noise canceling is not going to be as good as it can be if your seal is not properly established. So now let's finally get to that second rating, which is the ergonomics. Shape, size, weight, and fit. They are very lightweight. They don't feel heavy in your ears. And they fit very well, at least into my ears, which are, I believe, an average size male ears. When I insert them properly, there's absolutely no problem. I can do a lot of different movements, shake my head, run, jump, whatever. Do sports like the company that made these intended, and they do not fall out. After a while, honestly, you tend to forget that you have them in. In general, the very form factor is very similar to the AirPods Pro 2, which in my opinion is another little hint from the manufacturer. Hey, look at these, they cost $70 versus the price of the AirPods Pro 2, and the sound quality is definitely there. Which ones would you like to get, right? My rating for the Ergonomics is going to be a super strong 9 because honestly, these do everything very well and there's nothing to complain about here, which brings us to another rating and another point, controls. And here the rating is going to be a little lower. I'm going to give them a 6. And this is only because for some weird reason there is no way to go back to the previous song when you're listening to music. SoundPEATS developed their own scheme for the taps and the controls, which is different from every other earbud that I ever tested. And that's completely okay because once you get used to the tapping and touching system of the left versus right earbud, it actually makes plenty of sense, except that one little detail. For some reason, there is no way to go back to the previous song from your playlist, which I hope is going to be fixed in the future products from SoundPEATS. The touch controls on these are pretty responsive. They work really well. The touch sensitive area is located at the very top of this golden-ish, coffee-ish colored strip on the outside of each earbud. So this is exactly where you need to tap. And once you figure it out, once you realize where exactly your finger needs to go in relation to how these sit in your ear, you're going to be able to operate them pretty easily with the touch and tap system that SoundPEATS came up with. Next, let's talk about the ANC, the active noise cancelling. Now, to illustrate exactly how it works with these earbuds, let's go with some real life examples. Starting with the most extreme, I have my ANC testers ready to go, and believe me, these two can prove to you that perfect noise cancelling doesn't exist yet. It hasn't been invented, not against what they can do. What if you happen to have to make a call outside for any reason and your neighbor decides to make some extreme noise? Well, if you have your SoundPEATS Capsule 3 Pro, you're in luck because you can just pop them in and call your grandma and say, hey, grandma, how are you? We're okay here. And she's going to be able to hear you just fine. Keep in mind that none of these exercises included listening to music. Maybe it's not exactly the same level of noise cancellation as Bose and Sony, but those are the two giants that have been around for a long time and have been perfecting their systems for years. I am blown away that SoundPEATS came up with a system that can compete with these big brand names for $70 against the prices that the others cost. So you have to keep that in mind. And having said all that, I'm going to give them a strong 7 for ANC. The next category is the microphone and the quality of phone calls. And while, again, this is best illustrated with real-life examples, I'm just going to give you a little preview. And I'm going to start recording myself right now. So the sound you are hearing this very moment is not coming from the Yeti Blue microphone anymore. It is coming from the SoundPEATS and it's being recorded straight to my iPhone. And you can easily judge and probably hear right now that this is nowhere near the quality of the studio Yeti Blue microphone. And it's not supposed to be because these were not made for studio recordings. The microphone on these is very basic compared to what I have in front of me here. So let's switch back to Yeti Blue. But this microphone on the SoundPEATS works well, and it works really well when it comes to canceling the noise around you when you're making phone calls. Let's listen. Have to make a phone call from a noisy car. This is just to establish the level of noise in this car, recorded with nothing but the iPhone microphone. You know what, let's make this more interesting. Let's open the window a little bit to add to the level of noise and see how the SoundPEATS Capsule 3 Pro deal with that. The speed is about 50 miles an hour, totally obeying the posted speed limits. So the level of noise is highway-ish, almost there. It would be a little louder on the highway, but that's how it sounds in the normal mode. I don't imagine demonstrating pass-through mode is making any sense in these conditions, because why would you want more noise come into your ears while you're trying to cancel it and have a phone conversation with somebody? So let's throw these into ANC mode. And this is what you're going to sound like when you're calling somebody driving a noisy car. Chances are the person on the other side of the phone call is not even going to know that there's something noisy happening around you. To make it a completely fair comparison, here are Apple AirPods Pro 2 in exactly the same conditions. Oh, I'm sorry, the window, of course. Here we go. The level of noise is now comparable, so you can go back between these two parts of my review and clearly hear the difference. Should I add both to this? I think I should. Here we go, the Bose Quiet Comfort 2 earbuds in the same exact scenario. I will add the window, of course. Here we go. The level of noise is now comparable, so you can go back and forth between these three segments of the review to hear the difference between the SoundPEATS Capsule 3 Pro, AirPods Pro 2, and the Bose Quiet Comfort 2. Overall, while I don't think this is the best sounding microphone in the world, let's face it, it serves its purpose, and the phone calls on these sound pretty good, so I'm gonna rate them at 6 out of 10. By the way, starting with this review, I am building the online Polish Potato earbuds rating spreadsheet that I will link to under this video, so once we have more reviews on the channel, you can always check back and see the total score every in-ear earbud or every other earbud will get. Category number 6 is build quality and materials used, and honestly I have no questions here. I think this is a very high-end product. It feels nice in your hands. It looks beautiful, although I'm not a total fan of the colors used. I'm more of a, carbon fiber, heavy metal, dark grays, subdued color scheme, maybe a little bit of red here and there. Black and red is my favorite color scheme. So while these don't look super appealing to me, I think they do look very high-end, and trying to stay objective, I think they look super nice, and my overall rating for this category will be a very, very high 9. Category number 7 is the app, and while it works and it offers a lot of features that you can change and adjust, I feel like aesthetically it could look better, and it could have a little bit more functionality without going into details. You can explore that app on your own. It is intuitive, so it's really not bad, but I feel like it could be better. The last category in which I am rating these earbuds is the case and battery life. So the case is a substantial size, although I don't think it's too bulky. It is bigger than AirPods Pro 2, but it's not as big as the Bose Quiet Comfort 2. Or is it? Yeah, when you hold them like this, it's actually taller. So maybe it's comparable. Anyway, I feel like this is very manageable. It's not too huge of an item that you couldn't comfortably handle on a trip or your daily commute or wherever you need them. The total battery life is rated at 52 hours. That's awesome, with a fully charged case. So you charge the case through a USB-C cable, and this is such a common connection right now that you probably already have a cable that you can use for charging these. If not, one is included in the set. And 52 hours, in my opinion, is really nice. And in real life, it doesn't really matter how many times it recharges them. The total amount of play time you get with the fully charged case is 52 hours. That's what matters to me, because there's rarely a case that I'm using these for so long that I discharge them completely to zero. All right, at the end of a listening session or when I don't need them, they go back in the case and they recharge to their full 100%. So I'm going to give these a rating of 9 in terms of case and battery life. And while I don't think we reached the true potential yet in terms of battery life for wireless earbuds, I think a total playtime of 52 hours is fantastic. This brings us to the final conclusion. And if I was to answer the major question, should you buy these? Are they worth your money? I would say absolutely yes. Fantastic sound quality, great battery life, good operation, solid materials, beautiful looks. Overall, this works really well. I didn't really talk about Bluetooth connectivity, but it also works really well. It is instant every time after pairing them with your phone. You take them out of the case. They actually connect faster than you are able to put them into your ears. There's a female voice actually announcing that they are, powered on and connected, but you can rarely hear it because she says it before you put them into your ears. That's how fast they work. So that's another good thing. And my total level of happiness with these earbuds is at 70 points, which right now makes them number 1 on the list of all earbuds ever reviewed on this channel. And that may be largely because they are the first ones I have ever reviewed on this channel. That's a little joke, haha. But in all seriousness, I really do think these are higher end, really great wireless end earbuds that are available at a lower end price, which makes them even more attractive. And I think you would be rather hard pressed if you were to find somebody who is genuinely unhappy with them. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this review, and I really hope it gives you enough insight into what SoundPEATS Capsule 3 Pro are and how they work. And I hope it helps you make an educated decision if you are considering purchasing a pair of these.